Now to a newly elected member of Congress who's admitted lying about a Wall Street career, a college degree, and other key parts of his background. He's now the focus of multiple investigations. His name is George Santos. He's a New York Republican, and he's scheduled to be sworn into the House next Tuesday. But a county prosecutor is now examining how Santos, who had a history of financial troubles, paid for his campaign. And the state attorney general's office is also looking into some of the revelations uncovered by the New York Times. At this point, the Congressman-Elect says he has no intention of stepping aside. A lot of swirling questions around him.
Meanwhile,
the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn would not comment on several reports that they are also investigating Santos. Following a New York Times expose, the Congressman-Elect admitted to falsely saying during the campaign he had a college degree, worked for 2 firms on Wall Street, and was Jewish. Questions still remain on how Santos financed his campaign with a $700,000 loan of his own money.
Later.
And I made a mistake. And I think humans are flawed, and we all make mistakes, Tulsi. I think we can all look at ourselves in the mirror and admit that once in our life we made a mistake. I'm having to admit this in national television for the whole country to see, and I have the courage to do so because I believe that in order to move past this and move forward and be an effective member of Congress, I have to face my mistakes, and I'm facing them.
You know, my dad, when I got elected vice president, he said, "Joey, Uncle Frank fought in the Battle of the Bulge. He was not feeling very well now, not because of the Battle of the Bulge, but he said, and he won the Purple Heart, and he never received it. He never got it. You think you could help him get it? We'll surprise him." So I got him the Purple Heart. He had won it in the Battle of the Bulge. And I remember he came over to the house, and I came out, and he said, presented to him, okay, we had the family there. I said, "Uncle Frank, we won this," and I went to peace. He said, "I don't want the damn thing." No, I'm serious. He said, "I don't want it." I said, "What's the matter, Uncle Frank? You earned it." He said, "Yeah, but the others died. The others died. I lived. I don't want it."
I don't believe you.
And so I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home, politically.
Liar! Liar!
This day, 30 years ago, Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and entered into discussions about apartheid. I had the great honor of meeting him. I had the great honor of being arrested with our UN ambassador on the streets of Soweto trying to get to see him on Robbins Island.
Right.
So some fact checkers looked into it, and the Washington Post called the claim ridiculous and gave him 4 Pinocchios. And eventually he had to back off saying, "Well, what I meant was I got briefly separated."
But wait, there's more.
He also bragged that he was arrested during the civil rights movement in the United States. Listen.
Because I'm so damn old, I was there as well. They think I'm kidding, man. Seems like yesterday, the first time I got arrested. Anyway.
Oh, come on!
And he told that story a couple times, got arrested during the civil rights era. Didn't happen.
Inconceivable!
Biden talked about how much he enjoyed teaching when he was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. In fact, he was paid $1 million for that position. He never taught a class.
I used to drive a tractor trailer.
Oh, awesome.
And so I know a little bit about driving big trucks.
No, that's great.
But anyway, I only did it for part of a summer.
Oh, okay.
But I got my license in.
There's no record that he was ever a truck driver. And asked for any specifics or details or proof, there has been none offered.
I got my first job offer where I wanted, my wife, deceased wife, and I wanted to move to Idaho because we think, not a joke, it's such a beautiful, beautiful state. And I interviewed for a job with Boise Cascade.
Someone looked into this. They asked the company, which had to then put out a statement saying we have no record of President Biden and his application or of him having worked for the company. We checked the system internally, turned up nothing.
I remember spending time at the, going to the Tree of Life Synagogue, speaking with them. It just is amazing, these things.
The executive director of the synagogue said that Biden had not visited in the nearly 3 years since the anti-Semitic attack took place.
Do you think he plans it all out? Or just makes it up as he goes along?